40th. And so you would not know these things. So let me tell you. So the other day I was in the marketplace, and Jesus came into town. Do you all know who Jesus is? Do you all know? Because if you do not know this man Jesus, you must get to know this man. This man is amazing. The miracles he has done. Healing the sick. He even, I heard one time, raised a dead man back to life. Can you imagine that? And I heard one time that he fed 5,000 people with just a few pieces of food. Wow. And of course, for me, it is on a personal level. See, I said earlier that I was not able to leave Jerusalem. And that is because when I was born blind and I could not see. And so one day, as I sat on the street begging for money, this man Jesus came by, and he had mercy on me. And he healed me. He opened my eyes so I could see. So he healed my eyes. He did not heal my hair, but that is okay. I would rather see. And so he healed me. So if you do not know this man, I beg of you, please get to know this man. And not just know him on a personal level. And so back to my story, as I got sidetracked, but I was in the market and I heard a commotion. And my first thought was, aha, there's a fight starting. Because that does happen between people and the Roman soldiers. And I like a good fight just as much as the next guy. But I try not to partake in such activities too often. Once in a while, I can't help myself. And the last time I got in a fight with a Roman soldier, you should have seen him when I got done. No, really, you should have. I was too busy running away. I don't know what happened to him. I value my life. But as I got closer, the shouts were not angry shouts. They were happy shouts, joyful shouts. I heard people shouting, Hosanna, Hosanna, King of Kings, Lord. And as I got closer, my heart started beating faster and faster and faster. And as I got close, my heart started going crazy because there I saw Jesus riding into town on a donkey. Can you imagine? On a donkey. This man comes riding into town like royalty. And people were waving palm branches. They were throwing their coats on the ground. And this man came riding in like a king. But not in a chariot. Not on a horse. On a donkey. Can you imagine a donkey? Of all things. And then it doesn't get done there. He got done with that, and he went into the temple, and he chased out all the people buying and selling. And I guess he yelled something like, "It is written, my house shall be a house of worship, but you have made it a den of thieves." I would have given a pretty shekel to see that. Yes, I would have. It has been an interesting time around here. But with all of this going on, I'm glad that you're here. And my friend...
Not like 30 years ago where we didn't have any room in the end. We had lots of room in this end.
Amen. Welcome everyone. Shalom. Peace be with you.
Lots of room right here in the front.
Rachel, what brings you and your friends who are in this evening?
Well, I remember Jesus might be meeting here.
Yes, he was here. He and his disciples shared the Passover supper together, and we're just now cleaning the meal out. But you just missed them.
They were here, had this Passover, but it really wasn't a celebration.
No. From the time the disciples walked in the room, it appeared that they were glaring at one another. And they appeared to be jealous. And Jesus, his face just looked sad.
Yes, he appeared sad, but he did tell his disciples, "I greatly desire to eat this meal with you." Judas sat right here on Jesus' left side, and John sat on his right.
And so speaking of that, Judas, husband, he just makes me uneasy for some reason.
Oh, come on. He keeps track of their money. He must be trustworthy, but he was acting strange.
I'll tell you what was strange. We had the meal all set and ready. We were going to start the foot washing. We had the towel and the basin and the pitcher ready to be used. And I looked around for the servant, and there was no servant to do the foot washing. So I was about to go fetch one because I noticed the disciples just sat there glaring at one another and never made a move to wash one another's feet.
And then Jesus got up. He took the towel and he wrapped it around his waist. He took the basin. You should have seen the disciples' faces when Jesus poured water into the basin. And then he got down on his knees and he washed his disciples' feet. I mean, have you ever seen such a thing? A master washing his disciples' feet.
I have never heard of such a thing. Have you ever seen that before? A master washing his disciples' feet. And he did. He washed every one of them, even that shifty Judas.
When Jesus got over to Peter, I saw the pained look on Peter's face. Peter didn't want Jesus to wash his feet. And Jesus said, Peter, what I do now, you don't understand. But you will understand in the future. I wonder what he meant.
I'm not sure what he meant, but I do know one thing. Did you notice the atmosphere in the room? The tension just dissolved after the foot washing.
It did.
And then Jesus surprised them again.
He did. As they're eating the meal, he took the bread, he blessed it, then he broke it, and he gave pieces of it to each of his disciples. And he said, here, eat this bread, which is my body, which is given for you. The disciples were stunned. They just ate in silence.
And then Jesus took the cup, and he raised it to heaven, and he gave thanks to God. And he said, this is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for each one of you. It was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes.
I'm not sure what he meant.
You know, I don't think the disciples understood either, because they had that puzzled look on their face. And then it got strange. Jesus said he was going to be betrayed.
What? Who would do something like that? The Romans.
Oh, Rachel, be careful what you say. No, it wasn't the Romans. Jesus meant one of the 12 men that were eating here with him. One of them was going to betray him.
Husband, I just can't understand it. They all of the disciples said they were loyal to Jesus and wouldn't betray him. Even that Peter boldly stood up and said, even if all of the rest of the disciples left Jesus, he never would.
Jesus looked at Peter, and you could see the sorrow in Jesus' eyes as he told Peter, he said, Peter, before you're going to deny me 3 times before the rooster crows tonight. And Peter, proud Peter, his face sunk, and he just fell down on the floor.
Yes, it was quite amazing. And did you notice that during the supper, Judas just got up and quietly left the room without an explanation? We really had no idea what he was doing, but we thought, well, he's probably just getting a room for the night for the disciples. So we thought no more of it. But talking of night, Rachel, it's getting late and dark, and we're worried for you and your friends. You might get robbed, or worse yet, the soldiers might think you're up to something.
But we really wanted to go see Jesus. Do you know where he went?
I believe Thomas said something about Gethsemane.
Do you think that they went there?
Maybe, but I think you should all go home. I have a very bad feeling about tonight.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be on our way now. Come on, let's go.